What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be talking to you guys about livestock guardian dogs and cattle dogs. So stay tuned, hang tight, and hope you enjoy this video. Don't mind any of the sounds. I'm living in a RV park on base right now, so you might hear some stuff in this video. Okay, so first things first, what is the difference between livestock guardian dogs and cattle dogs? So livestock guardian dogs, generally bigger breed of dogs. A lot of people use the Great Pyrenees or Colorado Mountain Dog, which is like a mixture of them all. And Great Pyrenees has been around for around 3,000 years. And originally, I believe they came from Europe, and people ran them with their cows and their sheep. And they just left them out overnight, and they would patrol the herd to make sure no predators went and got them. And so these Great Pyrenees, these Colorado Mountain Dogs, they left out at night, they guard the herd. Even during the day, they just stay with the herd. And coyotes won't be a problem if you have a few of these mountain dogs around. They mainly defend the herd with their big voice. They usually kill for the last resort. You can go look up videos of Great Pyrenees with sheep pulling up on some mountain biking guy, and he didn't like it. They just came at him, started barking. They didn't attack, but he did not like it. So they're not herding dogs. What they are is they stay with the herd and they protect what they see as theirs, which is the sheep or cows, whatever. Chickens, they do chickens too. And they're also great family dogs. So if you need a guardian dog to protect your family, make sure your kids are safe wandering out in the woods, give them a Great Pyrenees. That thing will protect with its life. They have a protective like fur around their mane. So let's say a coyote pulls up and he wants to attack that Great Pyr and he latches on. He's not going to hurt the dog because that mane is so thick. From what I've seen, the only people in cattle country that have livestock guardian dogs are not cattlemen, they are sheep herders. So I believe that the livestock guardian dogs are more or less for small-time farmers who want this dog to protect their property, for sheep herders so that they can sleep at night and just have that Great Pyr or Colorado Mountain Dog protect what is theirs. And I would not recommend this dog to somebody who does not know how to work with animals or train animals, because from all the videos I've seen about the Great Pyrs, these dog owners let this dog walk all over them. They say he's stubborn, untrainable, handsy, barks at everything. Yeah, that's not acceptable. If you have a livestock guardian dog, you need to make sure that you're training it, make sure it knows what its job is. And then especially if you're just living in the suburbs and you have one and it doesn't really have a job other than staying at your house, you need to train it. So it's not really for cowboys or cattlemen because their cattle largely protect themselves. Coyotes aren't going to go pull up on a big herd and take a cow down. They might come out for calves, but not necessarily for the big cattle herd. What I could possibly see cowboys or cattlemen using these dogs for is during calving season. You might want to throw a few dogs out there just because those calves are vulnerable to all sorts of predators, and they're not going to kill the calves, but they'll sure do their job and protect them. But any other time of the year when you don't have vulnerable calves around, you don't really need these dogs. Plus, if there's a calf that's super vulnerable or hurt, you just put it in the barn, especially if it's a leppy calf. You put it in the barn, nothing's gonna get in the barn. Also, mama calves are pretty they're pretty good at protecting their calves. We got to give them credit where it's due. They're not going to let some predator come up and just take their calf. Depending on the cow, you never know. Then there's the other side of the house, is the cattle dogs. So cattle dogs are not typically going to stay out with the herd day and night. They're not meant for protecting these big cattle herds or sheep. They're sheep. They're not meant for that. What cattle herding dogs do is, if you're out in the big country and you need to move your herd 10 miles, 15 miles, that still happens today. If you need to do that, you should be looking into getting some dogs, because I know in Australia they almost exclusively are on foot and using dogs, four-wheelers, maybe some horses. Dogs are a lifesaver. I know that when I worked at the PX Ranch in Nevada, there's one guy, his name's JD. He had a few dogs. He had like 4 or 5, and he was working a whole section of the ranch by himself because he was able to control his dogs. What would have taken 4 to 5 cowboys, he could do by himself horseback with his dogs. So cattle dogs, what they do is there's headers and there's heelers. So a cattle dog will either heel, which means he'll push them, and let's say I need to get from point A to point B. The cows are at point A and I need to get them to point B, and I'm coming up and I'm pushing them. I can have a heeler cattle dog help me push them, keep them in line as we're going to point B. And they really do come in handy.
Come by, stand. We stand.
Especially with cows that want to turn back. If you don't know what that is, cows, when they're on these longer drives, they turn back and they start fighting you because they're tired and they're angry. So if you have a dog that's willing to work and is pushing it forward, it takes a lot of stress off of you and your horse because that dog's doing the work for you. Then there's the header dogs. Header dogs, if I'm going to point A to point B, these dogs like to get in front and head, so they'll hold a herd good for you. So if you have them bunched up at point B, these dogs will make sure that they don't turn around and come get you or anything. They'll bunch them up for you, with proper supervision. And so the difference between these two dogs is that the livestock guardian dogs, they're not going to herd for you. They're not going to take these cows or sheep from point A to point B, but they will protect them from predators. So if you have a smaller scale operation or a large scale one and you don't have enough workers to go sleep out with the sheep, or you have possibly calves and some of them are sick and you're worried about predators getting your cows, then you could get that livestock guardian dog. Yeah, sorry, there's another truck. And they're mainly for people who are homesteading. Not going to recommend them to a working cowboy because that dog will not keep up with you if you're herding cows. But if you have homestead, small property, go for it. Cattle dogs, if you're moving cows from point A to point B, they're great. They're great on bulls. Bulls are tricky because they come back and they want to fight you, whatever. Just like young teenagers, they get that testosterone boost and they don't respect you anymore.
Huh?
Catch me outside, how about that?
Catch you outside?
You throw a cattle dog on them, they'll take care of it. So that's mainly the big differences between the two. Cattle dogs are for working, livestock guardian dogs are for guarding. Two different subjects, both are work, but they serve very different purposes. But just like all things, they have their own purpose, just like all of you guys. So thank you for watching this video, and have a great day.